All right, let's talk about some new polling that we're just getting in about President Biden, showing his age is a significant concern for voters ahead of the 2024 election, including among Democrats, by the way. A new AP NORC poll finds more than three quarters of Americans think Biden, who is 80, is too old to serve another term, 77% of them. Donald Trump is just 3 years younger than Biden, but only 51% of Americans say he is too old to be effective in a second term. Broken down by party, 89% of Republicans say Biden is too old, 69% of Democrats say he's too old, and 74% of independents say the same. In contrast, only 28% of Republicans say Trump is too old versus 71% of Democrats and about half of all independents. So, Eugene Robinson, this is something that the White House, the Biden campaign cannot avoid. It is a reality. It might be uncomfortable for some people to talk about, but when you have private dinner parties, when you go out at the ice cream place in the summer, people do, even Democrats who like Joe Biden and plan to support him, they do have concerns about his age.
Yes, they do, and it's just a fact that they have to deal with. I mean, the fact also is that those Democrats, I think, are highly unlikely to say, okay, he's too old, I'll vote for Donald Trump. They're not going to do that. And indeed, if it is a Trump-Biden rematch, I think it's very likely that the main question will be Donald Trump. It's a stark binary choice. Do you want 4 more years of Biden or you want 4 more years of Trump? And so I think the Biden camp is fairly confident on that score that's how it's going to come down. But it is a problem, and it is ironic. He's only 3 years older than Donald Trump. He is visibly in better physical shape than Donald Trump. Despite those figures from the Georgia booking that have Trump at 6'3", 215. I'm sorry, that is a total fantasy. And you see Biden riding on his bicycle and doing all this stuff, and Trump doing none of that. But none of that seems to stick, and so this is just something that Biden has to deal with.
Gene is absolutely right. If you ask Democrats the question, yes, 7 out of 10, that's a lot, believe he's too old. And they said, well, you're going to vote for him? Well, yeah, of course I'm going to vote for him. I'm not going to go support Donald Trump. I guess the question is it enough of an issue for those independents, the people in the middle who may be still on the fence a bit?
Yeah, I was just had this conversation with a few senior Democrats in the last couple of days, and they acknowledge that as much as they don't like talking publicly, they know the president's age is an issue and a real one. They understand it's a legitimate concern for voters. That said, they believe that if it's a head-to-head, especially with Donald Trump, that the questions about the president's age will be outweighed by other matters, that it simply won't be as important. Now, they do think that the calculation would change somewhat, at least if somehow a Republican not named Donald Trump ended up being atop the ticket, and the age gap wouldn't be 3 years, but perhaps 30 years. But right now, of course, Trump is, far and away the favorite to be the Republican standing bearer again next year.
It really would just be almost a black swan event for someone other than Donald Trump to get the nomination at this time. However, if it were, say, Nikki Haley, who right now has enjoyed such a bump and is getting a real second look from a lot of big Republican donors, if she got the nomination, I do think it would potentially be another story. The Donald Trump head-to-head, it's going to go back more to where is the economy right now? Where's the economy going to be next October? Is your life better under Biden than it was under Trump, and voting from there? But if the Republicans could get their act together and viably support someone else, it could be a different game.
You mentioned Nikki Haley. She's just been saying explicitly that a vote for Joe Biden actually is a vote for Kamala Harris, given the age of President Biden.